Okay, so somebody was asking me. We've been doing a lot of Bash lately. I've been in Bash mode because I'm prototyping all this Zettelcast and stuff. And the question came up: does Bash do function hoisting? So first of all, what is function hoisting? I'm going to give you the description of it really quickly, and then if we have time, I'll go ahead and show you. I don't know where my Pomo went. My Pomo is not here. Oh wait, it's being lidded from the middle because we don't have enough space, I think. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see. Yep, yep. My thing's busted. Okay. Anyway, so function hoisting is when you can write a bottom line. You can write as in a scripting language. Usually, that's what it refer to. I mean, any compiled language. This is never an issue. Why? Why? Anybody want to answer? Why isn't this a problem when you have compiled languages? I mean, like finalized compiled language, not strictly speaking Java and Python are compiled. But I'm talking about like truly compiled, like you have an artifact after, right? So all of the symbols and everything have already been all resolved in that. So that's what allows you, like in Go, you can write functions anywhere, and you can use it from anywhere else because by the time the thing is compiled and you have something to run, all of those symbols and everything have been resolved. Now, when you come to scripting languages, it's a little bit different, right? Because it depends on how the language is processed. And particularly in Bash, and this is what the question's about, so we'll go through this. Bash is a very, 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 very hyperlinear language because it's literally what you use for the shell. Every command builds on the previous command and changes the state as you go along, setting environment variables, all that stuff, and it all stays kind of in that shell, which is why you have to use the export function. This is not hoisting, by the way. So I'm going to put that here. Exporting. Let's say this. Let's say, so about this export dash F is not hoisting. Okay. So this is, we'll get to that a little bit more, but I just wanted to let you know that right off the bat. So the reason it doesn't work this way is because every single line is processed as it's encountered in Bash. It's what makes Bash. I'm surprised at how fast Bash actually is, given what it has to do. It has to process every single line of that file and go down through the whole thing and then process the next line and the next line and the next line. And by the way, unless you set set dash E, which is another thing, unless you set dash E, it will just keep on going. So, because there's nothing that stops it. Whereas, other code, it might fail out or have a panic or something like that. So it's just one line at a time, and that's how you can understand how function hoisting doesn't work. So let's try. Let me really quickly try to give you an example of this. Yeah. Well. All right. So temp foo. We'll just do temp foo. My other stuff here. So user bin bash, and then what? So we could say echo blah. I'll say hello, and we'll make it a function. I like short form functions. I don't like the function keyword. So wait, let's do this. Greet. All right. So greet. Here we go. Greet. And so we can call that function down here, right? In fact, we can source it. Well, let's do it a whole bunch of different ways. You see me do this all the time, though, and people probably wonder, well, why do you put it down below? Well, that's because of the function, not lack of function hoisting, right? So I run temp foo, and it says I can't run. Why? What did I do wrong? Oh, duh. All right. Oopsie. No, I don't want to do that yet. I screwed that up. I was going too fast. It was the exit I put in there. Somebody needs to make a clip of reel of me doing like really stupid shit online, like one after the other. You could make a pretty good reel. So it worked. See how that worked? Because it was defined. Now watch. What happens if I try to crack greet up here? I'm sure you can guess it. I'm sure you can guess it. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Why is it downloading this? It should not have to download it every time. Somebody broke my thing. I got to talk to Ross or whoever did it. Somebody broke my clip thing. It automatically downloads a new one every time instead of using the other one. I'm kind of mad about that. Maybe because it's in the wrong place. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just to get the sad sound. So that's hoisting. Doesn't work, right? Now, if you do that in JavaScript, it works because JavaScript has hoisting. And so we almost could try that right now. We have time? Oh, we could. Oh, God. I don't even think I have Node on here. Do I have Dino on here? Yeah. Nope. What node is it? People are like, you have Node on there? Oh, God. Oh, God. Make it stop. Does Python have hoisting? I don't think Python has hoisting. Does Python have function hoisting? Why does Python have variable hoisting like JavaScript? Python hoists variables. It begins at the start of the relevant block. Well, there you go. I don't even have to look further than that. That's fast enough for me. That's good enough for me. I'm sure it's good enough for you. I don't even really need to do it in JavaScript to know. Let's use Python, though, since we like that. User pin Python 3. You still have to put that ungodly thing. I'm not doing env. I refuse. It's insecure and bad practice. People do it all the time. I don't care. So greet. Define greet to print hello world, print hello, and then what? Of course, we're going to do if name equals main. We're not going to do that. That's not going to work because it's Python. So, I forgot my. I'm going too fast. I'm over my time. I can sense it. I don't even need my clock. All right, so that worked. Let's see if it works up here. Here we go. Are you nervous? How about them apples? Python does not do function hoisting. It might do variable hoisting, but it doesn't do function hoisting. You just saw it here, folks. JavaScript would do that. JavaScript, I know, doesn't. Now I have to test JavaScript. I'm pretty sure variables get hoisted, but I don't think that functions. That's probably we didn't. I read that into that last one. So let's do Node. Let's see what Node says. So we'll do Node. So this I love JavaScript syntax. Const node greet equals console log hello. I fucking love JavaScript syntax. I do. It's okay. I thought so too. I that's why I was asking. All right, so here we go. User bin. I don't even know if this is gonna work. Let's just temp foo. All right, so we have hello there. Isn't that pretty? I mean, come on, isn't that gorgeous? I'm telling you, JavaScript fat arrow functions are gorgeous. They're gorgeous. I love them. I love them. Now watch. Let's try it this way. This I'm gonna say it's gonna work because my memory served me right. Then JavaScript, including Node, which is JavaScript, does not do hoisting. It does not do hoisting. Look at that. I could have swore it did function hoisting. I could have sworn it did. Now I'm on a quest. This is going to be a long video. I'm sorry. So, yeah. I could have swore JavaScript did hoisting. I think it's because we didn't use the function keyword. That's what it is. Fat arrow, that's what it is. Oh, I remember now. I remember reading the section about this. This is cool. I remember because one of the, yeah. So one of the major, there's two major differences between fat arrow functions and regular functions in JavaScript. And I remember this now. The fat arrow functions are not hoisted. They're inline. They're really efficient, and they don't have the internal this variable scope. Okay. So yeah. But watch, if we define this is, I'm glad we're going through this because this is a good memory for me. So if you do it the old fashioned way using the function keyword, it's a completely different thing. Completely different. It's like, you can still use anonymous functions. You could say, actually, can you? Const equals, yeah. Let's try. I still want to use anonymous functions. Const greet equals function. So if you use the function word, right, that makes it anonymous. And then we do in here, you still have to have the parentheses. You have to have, because it's old school, right? And then we have hello. That should be hoisted. Because it was assigned to a variable, right? Because it was a fat arrow. Well, but I thought it had hoisted variables too, which is why I'm confused. Now look at that. Cannot access greet before initialization. Now I'm really curious. All right, so because I know there's function hoisting in JavaScript, I know there is, and so I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest to find it. I think it's like this, honestly. I think this is the only way you get it. And remember once upon a time when JavaScript used functions for objects? Oh, God. I can't. I don't know what to say about that right now. There you go. There's your hoisting. There you go. So there you go. Yeah, but you would never do that. This is no, so let's say not hoisted. Not hoisted. That's gonna be confusing as hell for beginners. Hoisted. All right, so there's your function hoisting. Python. I thought Python had function hoisting, and so far what I'm seeing it doesn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that is a negatory. We're 2 minutes over on this video, so that is function hoisting. Most scripting languages don't have it. They do things one at a time, which means you have to make sure that you know what's going on. Also, don't confuse lazy loading with hoisting. They're not the same. I'll do another video on lazy loading at some point. Lazy loading is really essential for functional languages, and I did not know for the longest time that Python did lazy loading, which that explains why it's as efficient as it is. Otherwise, it would be really inefficient. So that's enough on that video. I'm going to close it down.